Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Sprites of Life podcast. I'm Lucas,
I'm Chris.
and Don had to do work stuff. Hey, you know what? Hey, we're guys in our 30s. We have work stuff. Ready for another duo episode?
Yeah, let's go, I guess, clone myself and get another Chris in here.
That's right, and
Oh,
I'm Bug Chris.
oh God, no, he's back. Oh,
Parthenogenesis.
oh no. And we're gonna talk about bugs again, right?
100%.
1,000,000%. What better thing
Even
could you
be-
talk
e-
about?
even better.
Okay, I just want you to know, for those you can't obviously the people listening or watching can't see this. In the Discord chat we record on my little picture is sandwiched by two Chris's, and I'm feeling trapped.
Yeah, that's your life now.
Today, we did want to bring in your services because fairly recently there was a bug game that came out so big that all the other indie games had to run away from it so they could get actual people to play their game. How familiar are you with Silksong?
Oh, I am a little familiar. I have played Hollow Knight. I admittedly, hopefully listeners don't shame me for this. I haven't beaten it. Parenting takes a lot of time. So I haven't beaten Hollow Knight, but I'm aware of it, aware of the influences, and I have seen minimal, like little drippings from Silksong. So I'm kind of going in a little blind, but I have a vision of where it's gone.
And I mean, it's very similar vibes, which is great because Hollow Knight is great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, phenomenal.
All my time has been put into Hades too. So, like, if we can find a Greek god, Chris, then maybe we can bring him on. We'll start looking. I do have some science news, and normally I try and keep the science news like positive. I try to find anything. This one was one of those things I couldn't ignore, and there was one thing that happened fairly recently on the 8th this year, and that was when the president filed one of his executive orders withdrawing the country from dozens of international bodies. Now, you might think, okay, that's not really much compared to all the stuff that is going on around the world, whether you're for or against. But there's something you really should look at the organizations. One of the organizations, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, also known as the IUCN. Have either of you heard of the IUCN before?
Loosely, mostly from you.
Yes, it is basically the organization that goes around and, with the help of independent scientific commissions, they compile data and publish research that lets people know which species are threatened or at risk in their own ecosystem, which is huge. So much of the work we've done on this podcast involves the IUCN because we have to do the research on the organisms that all the things that we talk about are based off of. Some of that research comes from the IUCN. If you've looked at an animal and thought, is it endangered or not? The IUCN is the people who do that. It's really important to work with them. I don't care who you are. The simple fact that there are animals that are considered endangered, critically endangered, threatened, near threatened, that's needed. If you don't have that, then you can't protect anything. Like, how do we know what to protect it? The United States was a huge driving force in anything it touches. This is one of those things where people should be aware of. Like, when you just pull out of a massive international organization meant for protecting wildlife and you're the United States, that's going to affect not just us, but also a lot of different ecosystems.
Yeah, I would agree with you. As Bug Chris, when we think about the role that insects play in the ecosystem, right? I mean, you could go on a soapbox about pollinators, but we all can also think about the bugs that people don't like to think about that are critical, like the dung beetle. If we didn't have dung beetles, poop would fill up everywhere, right? We couldn't have livestock the way that we have them today. And so it's really important to monitor those things because if we lose one, we really don't know what could happen.
Chris, we do have sort of gaming news. A certain Pokemon product dropped. Some of us have thoughts.
Yeah, they're coming for my wallet. There was the Lego Pokemon crossover
Oh
th
man.
that dropped. Chris, did you see the sets?
I I feel like I saw them briefly.
I
Maybe
got it.
yeah, no, educate me,
Okay,
educate
so
me.
let's do cheapest to most expensive, Lucas. I got it. So this is the cheapest. It is $70 or $60, 60 or
Holy
70.
cow.
Looks
Uh,
good.
it looks I think Eevee looks pretty solid. But then there is this one, which will run you about $200.
Oh,
This one is divisive to say the least.
I don't like its cheeks.
I think
that
that everything
oh,
looks cool except for the face.
yeah, the face is rough. It's giving Sonic. It's giving, the original
Yeah.
Sonic design in the Sonic movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's giving Dedenne, like the Pokemon. Like it's
Little
giving
Oh
one of the
yeah.
actually, yeah. But if you look at it's on the little lightning bolt with the 25, it's cool. I just feel like they missed it a little bit.
Oh, show him the big one. Show him
All right.
the
This
wallet
one
buster.
will run you back. Well, it won't run you back anymore because all the pre-orders are sold out. You can still get the other two.
Oh,
This one $650.
oh my goodness.
It's glorious.
It is
It's
beautiful.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Are you one of those pre-orders, Chris?
Maybe.
Oh man.
Oh
Look,
no.
Chris comes out.
when they announced this a year ago, and I started saving.
Okay. Wow. I
Um,
mean, it's beautiful.
but with buying this set, there's also a gift with purchase of the Kanto badges.
Oh,
Which is
that's cool.
this one, which I think is the coolest of all of them.
That is pretty cool.
Isn't there like a little Pokemon Center one you
Yeah,
can buy?
and then buried in everything, there's gonna be a Lego Rewards one, that's like 200 or 2,500 points. It's just a little Pokemon Center. I think that one's pretty cute.
I want that.
Yeah,
That
that feels more manageable.
That's about $20 in rewards points.
I like how it says 18 plus. It's like, yeah, kids, back off. Look
Do
at
we know
all of them.
how
All
many-
of them are like 18 plus. This is great. Like, you kids, stay away from my toys. So help me God.
I'm just trying to figure. Well, do we know how many pieces the Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur is?
I will get you the exact count. It's a little under 7,000.
Holy cow!
It's a lot.
It is on par, I believe, with the Millennium Falcon one. So it's 6,838 pieces.
It's too much, is what it is.
That's staggering.
Yeah, I can't. Dude, this is okay. This is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. So we knew stuff like this was going to come. But, like, dude, 650 for Legos. I can't. Like,
Okay,
A
but
lot.
for like point of reference though, the Millennium Falcon Collector Series, 7,541 pieces, $850. So you can see like the licensing fees playing in there. But yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
it's definitely a lot. It's gonna be a big set, but I don't know. I'm excited to build it. There are some people talking about holding it for like keeping it sealed, and it'll be worth like thousands in 5 years, and they're probably right.
They're
But
correct.
also, I want to build it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 100%
Absolutely.
right. And for the people who are saying that's too expensive, there are brick building sites. People will just tell you how to make your own Blastoids without any of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you won't have the eyes. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He says, like, the eyes are the most important part.
I will say so. This was I think a great first step into the partnership. I hope that they have a lot more Lego Pokemon in the future.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Given our unique taste in Pokemon, like of our own favorites, I doubt we'll ever get any of our own. They're not going to make a Golurk.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dragapult has potential.
Gyarados, so I might get a Magikarp on the side.
Yeah, you might. Magikarp, I could see that's pretty iconic.
Yeah, though that might get me there. Alrighty. Yeah. Go Pokemon, I guess. But now we got indie game greatness to go over.
Yeah, from the largest media franchise.
From the largest media franchise comes the little studio that decided to just hide in a corner and just keep making the game, keeping the internet in suspense. That was the joke for the video game awards for years. Like that the sequel of this game would come out. And it finally did.
Yeah.
People had some views on like difficulty level and stuff, but like it wasn't my game to play. What do you got for us, man?
So I'll do a quick little rundown for it. So as we have talked about, Silksong is a sequel to Hollow Knight, which Hollow Knight widely praised. Silksong also incredible, like tons of praise. It's a great game. It is a sequel to the Hollow Knight game, and you are playing as one of the like favorite side characters in Hollow Knight, which would be Hornet, who you kind of chase around, and you get more about her backstory in this game. So in this game, Hornet is captured in the land of Farloom, and as you work your way through, you kind of uncover the mysteries of the land. I think of note, Hollow Knight portrayed an area in Hollowness that was like empty and decrepit and falling apart, and Farloom is still pretty active. It is not nearly as derelict. There are a lot more like other characters around that you can interact with and see, and it plays into a lot because there's a lot of like religious overtones and how that plays into the society that is in Farloom. In the world of Farloom, it came to be when the deity Grandmother Silk evolved some beings called the Weavers, which were a species of arachnids that built the city and the citadel, and they worshiped Grandmother Silk. The long and short of it is that eventually they grew tired of being under her influence and lulled her to sleep so that they could basically run the show. But even when they were doing that, they realized that they were still under her influence and they left. And when they left, other things came in and filled the power void. And Farloom became what it is that you saw today, with Grandmother Silk still having influence over everything.
Fascinating.
Let me get you a picture of Grandmother Silk so
I
you
was gonna
can.
ask. Let's see. I'd love to see Grandmother Silk here.
This is Grandmother Silk, and like there will be some mild spoilers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Why does she remind me of like the paintress from Claire Obscura?
And then let me pull up the arachnids, or the weavers. So in the lore side of it, which will bleed into what we talk about. Hornet, your player character. Hold on one second. These are the weavers. Beep.
Okay.
So these are the
Oh.
arachnid type creatures.
Okay. I see it. I see it.
They seem
Now,
friendly.
can we elaborate, Chris? Well, when people think arachnids, they mostly think spiders, but that's not entirely accurate, correct?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Arachnids are any arthropod with 8 legs. And there's a few other characteristics, but for the most part, if it has 8 legs, it's an arachnid. So some common ones obviously are spiders. Ticks are arachnids. There are mites, and then scorpions are another great example. So all of those are in that arachnid group.
I always forget about scorpions.
Yeah, so scorpions are a little deceptive actually. This could actually have a pet scorpions. This kind of is a tangent for me. So when you look at a scorpion, and this is a little tidbit for your listeners, the claws, it's easy to think that, when you think about it from a human perspective, that those claws are kind of like hands, but actually they evolved from mouth parts. So they are these hyper evolved kind of lips, if you will, on a scorpion. And so if you count the claws, it's 10 legs. But if you don't count the claws because they're actually just part of the mouth parts, it's 8.
Hmm, they're tricky.
They are
That's
tricky.
insane. That's
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
is.
know
It
that.
is.
That's so weird.
It is very weird. It is very weird.
I will point out. So in this picture of the weavers, the one that's in white, kind of in the middle, that is a character named the First Sinner. uh
Oh,
who is a
okay.
boss, is a boss you can fight in the game. But the basic back lore, or the basic lore for the First Sinner, is that they are the weaver that uncovered the truth about Grandmother Silk and the creation of the weavers, and that Grandmother Silk had lied to them, and so they were imprisoned for learning the truth.
Wow. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's the one that's kind of a different color and the head is cracked like an egg
Yeah.
almost.
They I will point out, I don't think any of these have 8 legs.
They don't. They don't. I see 4 on the left one and 6 on the one on the right.
Hear me out. For what if some of them are just tucked in?
Tucked into
Absolutely.
tucked into their
Yeah.
like dome things.
Well, like the one
They
with the
could be.
Marilyn Monroe look is like could clearly have them like all four down below there. The one who's
Yes.
crunched up could like on the ground there with the red could handle have them like folded in. Like they could still be there. But you're right, they're not obviously showing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they call them arachnids, so we'll go with it. So then continuing on this, we're gonna start with the player character. So we mentioned Hornet. Let me drop a picture of Hornet in here. Um, I want you to guess what kind of like what do you think this is? Because I'll tell you,
Okay.
it's not a hornet.
Okay. Is there an official answer from the developers?
Kind of.
Okay, interesting. Oh man, let's see. I mean,
The
based
the
on
the needle
And
is separate from the being.
yeah, yeah,
hang
yeah,
on, I
yeah.
have here's my favorite picture of the design.
There you go. That's a better picture.
Oh, very cool. Okay, that's a good. I like that design a lot. I mean, it feels very kind of assassiny, which would lend, I think, my brain towards a little bit of a praying mantis vibe. There are some mantids out there, like the violin mantis and things like that, that have really ornate head parts like that. But then the head parts also kind of give beetle a little bit, because we see that really pronounced pronotum is what we call it on those Hercules and rhinoceros beetles, that pronotum. Um, yeah, I would be between kind of a beetle and a mantis.
Is there any, like, relationship between the 2? I know they're both arthropods, I know they're both insect, but is there, like, a are they in, like, the same branch of, like, that group, or the beetles and the mantises, like, too far away? Because from
They're
what
yeah,
what
they're totally different. Yeah, they're very far away from one another. Now, granted, I'm not a taxonomist, so I can't I can't picture a taxonomical tree. But in terms of kind of evolution of body structure and things, they're vastly different, right? So mantids have those really hyper evolved forelimbs that they use to hunt prey, whereas beetles have really hyper evolved wings and armor. And so yeah, they're very very different, very different.
Okay. So, if anyone truly wants zero spoilers for Silksong, I will tell you to take your or to mute for the next couple minutes. So Hornet is actually the half brother of the Hollow Knight.
Oh,
And the parents, so that would make the father is the Pale King character from Hollow
yes.
Knight. Mother is Hera the Beast, who is one of the dreamers from Hollow Knight,
Okay.
um, who is a weaver. So remember I
Oh,
mentioned that the weavers once they realized they could not escape the influence of Greater Mother Silk, a
yeah.
bunch of them fled and went elsewhere. So that is Hera the Beast was a weaver that took their group into what's the name? Into Hollow Nest. And so they
Yeah.
kind of set up shop there. And then at one point, Hera made a deal to become a dreamer to help seal the radiance, and in exchange for an heir, which is Hornet.
Wow. Okay. So essentially part arachnid here.
Part arachnid.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean the silk makes sense in terms of the, coming off that needle there. It looks like silk.
Yeah. And then if we're being very specific, I believe that the Pale King is a worm, like dragon, like serpent type thing. If we're being
do we
Ah,
have
it's
specific,
like
because she's like
any
half dragon.
50% worm, 50% weaver.
well, like, depending on the worm, there are some worms out there that are just mind-bogglingly terrifying if you were to just make them a whole lot bigger, your bobbit worms, your like, those sorts of things, like also, I did have a question for you, Bug Chris. So there are other animals that produce silk other than spiders. Why is spider silk like the better option of all the silks?
Oh, yeah. So it depends on what you mean by better. If you mean, so the first one that comes to mind immediately are caterpillars, right? So they form cocoons. Silkworms have been part of agriculture dating back to ancient China. They would use them to produce silk, and we still use them today. We actually have domesticated the silkworm, so they can no longer fly and mate on their own. We have to mate them by hand to continue the species. They've become so dependent upon us. Their silk is the best in terms of fine quality and soft touch, right? Because we've bred that in. And caterpillar silk, when they form those cocoons, is already kind of naturally soft and sticky. It's strong. Silk is a very strong fiber. But I believe now I don't know the actual like tensile strength here, right? For the nerds out there, maybe someone does know, but I would wager that spider silk probably has a higher tensile strength than other insect silk because they're predatory. So they have to have this extra structure that they form out of this chemical reaction to catch and hold prey, would be my assumption. That's why it's, in this conversation, the best for catching prey is because they're predators. So they've probably evolved really strong silk because of that.
All right. I mean, like, I was trying to like pull up the tensile strength of spiders just to like say like, oh, see, I was trying to say like, hang on, I think I could find it, but it's literally like choking filled articles of like, is spider silk stronger than seal? Not quite. Here's all the things you should know, and
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like,
it's a deep
oh,
dive.
yeah, no, I love it. Honestly, I love it when it's not that simple because I've made
Yeah,
an entire life of like, hey, you probably heard this thing on the internet. Let me tell you what was right about it,
that's right.
and then stop.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a mantis beetle hybrid with snilk genetics and a pointy stick.
Yes. So we'll jump into a couple of the regions that I particularly like. And first I want to get your input, Chris, on like what if we were to see this area in the real world, what might we expect to see there?
Okay.
So the first region, which is actually the tutorial region that you encounter, is called the Moss Grotto. I want to point out that Grotto is like one of my favorite environments in games because I know it's a real thing, but I only ever experience it in games.
Yes.
But something called the Moss Grotto. What could we expect to see in a space like this, Chris?
Oh yeah. So immediately, thoughts that come to mind are moisture, high humidity, rich, kind of fertile soil. And so what you'll see a lot of, starting from the soil level, you're going to see a lot of what we call, for the nerds out there too, the non-insect hexapods. So these are six-legged organisms that we used to actually consider insects, but taxonomically, they've now been shifted. So they're called non-insect hexapods. These are things like springtails, columbella. There's kind of this whole group of and maybe some of those might be insect orders or primitive insects. I'm a little blurry on where some of those fall, but these really premature, kind of primitive, soft-bodied insects and six-legged arthropods. So you'd see those at the ground level. They're very small, and people can actually go out in their backyard if they have moist mulch or mossy grottos and mess around with them and cause them to jump. They'll spring and you can see them. They're very small. And then as you kind of get bigger, this is probably a great area for grubs. Probably a really healthy beetle larva or grub population in there. Beetles being in that soil, you're probably also going to get a bunch of flies, kind of small flies that might fertilize some of the moss and kind of really abundant flowering plants in those areas, things like that. Those kind of come to mind immediately.
Well,
It's
then let
funny
me
you should
introduce
say,
you
yeah.
to the moss grub.
Okay. There you go. There you go.
This is
Hey,
the
look,
the
I know something.
the first critter that you encounter, also the easiest to defeat.
Okay.
Basically, just don't let it touch you. But like very small, very squishy, like you were saying. Now, but I do want to say, what do you think that this becomes? Because everything, the ones you encounter, all kind of spring from this. So, what do you think this becomes?
Okay. So what it's reminding me of, and I think I'm going to say it right, is a tussock moth caterpillar. So they're the ones that, or you might hear them called puss moth caterpillars. They look really fuzzy and cute like this, but if you touch them, you get a really bad rash because they sting you. So that's immediately what it reminds me of is actually a caterpillar instead of a grub. So I would probably say it evolves into some type of lepidopteran, a butterfly or a moth or something like that would be my guess.
I can't find a specific picture of it, but so we'll just jump to the boss because the boss is just a bigger version of it.
Okay.
So it becomes the moss bee. It flies around, it has a stinger, and then let me introduce you to what is called the moss mother.
Oh, fascinating. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, not quite. You were spot on with the grub, but it took a turn.
Yeah, it did take a turn. It did take a turn. Yeah. So, you know, bees do go through complete metamorphosis. So they have larvae, pupa, and adults. And so, in theory, it makes sense that you could have some type of moss pupa going into a moss bee and a moss queen. It would not be a grub.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
Uh,
found it. It's called I found the bug we were looking for, the mossmere. Is that the little one? Hang on. Is this the one you were looking for?
oh,
This little guy?
that yes, that's the baby version. Yeah.
That is kind of cute.
So, now I want to ask also, since we have like kind of moss mother, big B, are bees known for their bodily strength?
Uh, great. Like, I can only imagine where this is gonna go. Um, so to my knowledge, no. Except what bees are really, I mean, all insects can do pretty amazing feats of strength, to be honest with you, because the structure of their muscles. But with bees, a lot of what the real strength is in their flight muscles. So their flight muscles are incredibly powerful, and they're able to fly really quickly. They carry all this pollen and nectar back. Some of them even, dynamically, it doesn't seem like they should be able to fly because of the size of their wings compared to their body weight, but they are able to because of the immense strength that they have in there. Yeah, so you could sell me on an argument that a cartoon bee is really strong because they have big muscles to fly. You could sell me on it, but I wouldn't immediately go for it.
So one of the attacks that this one does, that the Moss Mother does, is it body slams the stage to make rocks fall on you.
That's awesome.
So I like, yeah, it probably generates a lot of force with its flight muscles. I'm just am doubting it's able to withstand the impact.
Yeah, that it probably would not be able to withstand that impact.
But it's a pretty standard fight, but still pretty fun. I think, and like, it's a really cool design. Like,
Yeah.
I love the art and all the kind of stuff in this game. Now we're gonna jump to it is also the second area, but one that I really love just in terms of design and then also the kind of critters that we see in it. So it's an area called the Marrow. Um
Okay, perfect.
I won't make you guess that. I will describe what the area is because I don't think you're gonna get much off of that name other than bone, which you would be right.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Marrow is an area in the lower portions of Farloom that is made up of the bones and shells of long dead bugs. In particular, very, very big bugs. I think it is funny that so one, this also shows that we have the existence of like ancient bugs that were in this area that were significantly larger that you can like have these almost like ruins, but it is kind of like a lava-esque world. Like there is lava in the space. There's embers floating around. Like it is very, very hot. So it kind of made me think of what we would call like extremophiles. But in sort of this kind of hot lava-esque space, what would it take to survive as an insect?
That is, oh man, that's a great question. So what I immediately think about are some of the desert dwelling insects that we see. So there are some desert dwelling insects out there. One of which is a beetle that kind of stilts itself up on its legs to avoid contact with the surface of the sand. So it tries to create this barrier there, and it's able to maintain its body temperature better that way. There are also ants and other insects that don't really kind of behaviorally have adapted, so they come out in the evening or they stay in the shade as opposed to going in the sun. But my favorite one in which they are able to kind of mitigate heat is they actually use pockets of air. So there are some insects, some beetles specifically, that have a vacuum sealed pocket of air inside of their body. And if you know anything, so one of my favorite games is Oxygen Not Included. I love Oxygen Not Included, and you can leverage vacuum in that game because heat doesn't transfer across a vacuum. And so they are able to leverage that to their benefit. So you'd have to have an ability to avoid the heat. You'd also have to be really good at conserving and recycling water.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Fair enough. In the picture I dropped, so you can see the environment, there is this little buddy on the side. I'll get you a better picture, but that
Okay.
is the main kind of like kind of how we had the grub. We have ones that shoot off from this. So we have the skull scuttler.
Ooh. Okay.
So you have like the little like it is the bug thing on the bottom wearing the bones of a long dead insect. Uh,
Okay.
Kind of gave me the vibes of like those bone collector caterpillars
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
but so yeah, like what would we be looking at with this kind of thing? I see maybe 5, 6 legs. What are we thinking?
Yeah, what it kind of reminds me of is some type of mite or some type of, so a mite or a tick, some type of potentially also like an aphid or, Could even be like a louse or a bed bug, some type of. It's giving very much so like a parasitizing thing.
Mhm.
I mean, there
It
are
then
also assassin bugs that also pull the same thing, though.
There are assassin bugs that do that as well. Yeah, that are really good at hunting and hide themselves. There absolutely are.
it grows up into this buddy. This is a brute.
Oh,
He gets a bigger skull that's
I,
cracked because he's
I like
so.
how his body stays roughly the same size. It's just I
yeah,
found a new hat.
I mean,
yeah.
it is noticeably bigger in game. Uh,
I
but
can't hear you over my hat.
but these guys they're kind of annoying. They're a little bit tougher to deal with, but not too bad. What was the hold on? I have to figure out. I have to remember what the boss is. The boss in this of these ones is just an even bigger brute.
Oh,
Uh,
good.
they
I
just
want to
get
see
they
his
just
hat.
you want to see his hat?
I want to see his
Uh,
hat.
hold on, let me find it.
I
Tyrant.
The
demand.
skull tyrant.
The Skull Tyrant. That's a cool name.
This guy,
Oh, whoa.
Oh, bigger hat.
bigger hat.
Well, but and what happened to his legs? He hit leg day. It looks like
I think
he
he lost a
beefed up
couple
here.
legs. They
He
fused
did. It
What if
looks
they?
like
together.
bat wings. Yeah, man, that's fascinating.
I
I like
think
that.
the extra legs got tucked into the skull to help hold the thing up.
Yeah,
I like
maybe so.
I like that you if you look at the skull, so on the Skuttler we got the two eyes, and then on the brute you have two eyes with the single dot, and then on the tyrant you have the two eyes, two dots. Like they just keep adding just a little bit.
That's right. That's right. Just a little extra character.
Yeah. But so that's kind of the boss in that one. But there's another character that I wanted to include for you, Lucas.
Oh joy.
Because we've talked about it, it'll be pretty clear once you see the picture.
Okay.
This is what is called a Flintbeetle.
Oh no,
Whoa.
not again. Look, okay.
What's this given, Lucas?
I just want to say this for the record, y'all. Every time there's some sort of critter that explodes or uses fire in a video game, everyone screams Bombardier Beetle because they're right. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
Bug Chris, if I will donate money to a charity of your cause if you can find me some other critters I can use to talk about explosives. No, come on. Every time. You know what? Fine. Fine. This time, I'm prepared. This rant was made as a cover while I pulled this up. Okay? We're going to learn chemistry today. All right? So, we've talked about the Bombardier Beetle a lot because this guy just learned how to make explosives. It's a really neat reaction where you mix, I'm going to mispronounce this, hydroquinone with hydrogen peroxide. And when that reaction, when those two chemicals combined, along with some enzymes, it creates quinone. So basically, the oxygen and the hydrogen leave and pair off to form both water, and the reaction is an oxidation reaction, which generates a crap ton of heat. So it's less of like, yes, it is a chemical burn, but you're also generating a ton of heat while doing it. Like, yeah, it is making like burning acid that it's shooting out of its backside every single time that
Don't mess with
something
the
blows up
bugs.
from like, oh, we want to talk about fire type Pokemon? Bombardier Beetle. Oh, what's that? This Digimon can throw the sun? Bombardier Beetle. Every single time some living thing blows up, Bombardier Beetle.
Bombardier beetle.
Or
Every
those
time.
exploding ants.
Or the exploding ants. Very good. The Malaysian exploding ants are
Yeah.
dope. For some reason
And there's a
endangered.
second one.
Oh, there's another one?
No, I'm saying there you go. There's your second one.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
second one. Come on, give me another one, please.
that's all
Please.
I
So
got.
Wait, no, wait.
yeah,
Termites with guns on their faces.
yeah. So there are termites who have the Nazuda termes. Yeah, they can kind of shoot some liquid or some like grossness out. So there are a lot of ants. So ants, I love ants, and you can divide them kind of into two groups: the stinging ants and the acid spraying ants. So now they don't explode necessarily, but if you get a female worker ant who's really aggressively trying to defend her colony or multiple, you can see them shooting the acid out of their abdomen at you. Now, it doesn't generate heat like the bombardier beetle, so I wouldn't classify it necessarily as an explosion, but it is acid being squirted out. So there is some type of violent, nature of this experience.
I'm just
Insects are
tired,
brutal.
man. Yeah, they're brutal, but like, just so tired.
I
It's
know.
always it's just I want the people listening to learn about more cool stuff, like more cool critters.
Look, you
It
gotta get
turns
them.
out,
You gotta hook them somehow, Lucas.
yeah, I mean, like, hey, okay, you know what? I really want to hook people on. Like, you know what? I really want people to learn about. Hang on, I'm gonna take a tangent here. I'm gonna find it.
Uh-oh.
Hang on. Let's see where to go. Where to go? If I could find it. So like when we were talking about scorpions, they're just like everyone talking about, oh, how neat, how cool. Like they have this thing. Like I want more people to know that this thing exists. I hope this is in Silksong at some point. That
Oh yeah, there you go.
I want people to know about tailless whip scorpion, the thing
Yeah,
that crawled
tailless
out of
whip
your
scorpions
nightmares.
are awesome.
Oh
From Harry
look,
Potter.
yeah. Guess what? You just taught me that the thing I thought were arms were mouths. Thanks a
That's
lot.
right.
I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. You
Wonderful.
another fun fact about those. I don't know if you've ever got to hold them or play with them. If you drop them from like, I mean, maybe 6 inches up in the air, you can kill them.
Just
So
no
not
defense.
sturdy. Not sturdy.
They are not sturdy. They like if I had to describe whip scorpions or vinegaroons and tailless whip scorpions, I would say they are glass cannon. So they are really hard in on the fighting, really hard in on like a specific thing. So in this case, those mouth parts. In the vinegaroon, I don't know if you've ever seen a vinegaroon. I love them because their front claws look like boxing gloves, and that's how they use them. They literally beat their prey to death with their front legs or front arm, mouth parts. I guess mouth parts, and then they will scrape it into their mouth.
See, I like the grabbers. I like the ones with like the long needly arms that just go like, yes, I'm gonna
Yeah,
grab
yeah,
you.
yeah. They
Like
yoink you.
yeah. Imagine just being picked up as like a little like fly or like a cocker or something. Like yoink, you're mine now. You're not.
It'd be
No, you're not being
terrifying.
stung. What was the one with the boxing glove called?
It's called a vinegaroon or a whip scorpion.
Yeah, no, I'll be darned. I don't want to get hit by those.
No, no, they are yeah, they're pretty cool. They're very glass cannony. If you pick one up and drop it from about 6 or 8 inches, you can kill them. So we'll use them in outreach and stuff. And see, they look aggressive, but instead of the scorpion sting, that tail on the back that looks segmented, they actually spray vinegar. So that's why we call them vinegaroons.
Mm,
But yeah, those front claws, instead of being pincers, they'll curl them up in front of their body, those mouth parts, they'll curl them up and then they'll beat their food with it.
See, this is
nice.
what the video games need to be using. I understand the joy of exploding bugs, but this
Yes.
But what about punching
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
Well, if you wanted something that could hit you real good, Lucas, let
oh,
me
what you
introduce
got?
you to the other Skarrgard.
Skarrgard.
This is
Oh, good
Skarrgard.
Oh,
lord.
His name is Skarrgard.
What gym does
Skarrgard.
he go to?
He's buff.
Quick, what's the middle part of the insect called again? I know it's like the three body
The
parts. What are they
thorax.
called? That's the
The
Thorax.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, look at that thorax though.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Although the never the thorax, whatever's going on down below where those legs are, should technically also be the thorax. So he needs to work out that muscle.
He's
there's a little
putting
bit of
the
a size
ox in
comp.
thorax. Like that thing is not a friend.
That is
Yikes!
massive. You
So
know what?
obviously it's wearing that skull, but what kind of vibe are you getting from this thing?
It killed a
Yeah,
rat.
well,
It,
yeah.
it, it clearly killed a rat to wear that cloak, right? There's no other fur
Oh,
anywhere else.
absolutely. Definitely. I mean, my immediate, non-entomology vibe I'm getting is Bleach, the anime. These look like hollows. Like this whole section has reminded me of the hollows from Bleach, if you've ever seen that anime. It's basically like the dark, like the like they're and yeah, they're like the demonic realm, and the hollows all have these white bone masks. That's what that reminds me of. But in terms of insect, oh man, I mean, uh, anytime I see something beefy like this, the beefiest of the bugs by far are the beetles, and so it gives beetle all the way. Although body type, body wise, that's not what it's giving. right? It's given some weird. I mean, that pointy butt looks like a stinger of some kind, or like it would be a stinger of some kind. Yeah, I'm not. I'm I'm drawing a blank.
You'll probably be disappointed. It's an ant.
It's an ant.
It's an ant. Skarrgard is an ant.
Okay. I mean, the pointy abdomen, I guess, makes sense. I'm a little surprised at how buff it is for an ant. You know, when we see like strength related polymorphism in ants, it's always around the head capsule. Like you can get some beefy super majors that have massive heads, but they don't, correspondingly they don't have instead a massive thorax.
There is one ant I'm familiar with, the sausage fly, which is like they're a flying ant, and they will like the males are large, they fly, and they like occasionally get like pulled down and used for their like genetic material. Ants are terrifying. So there are cases of like giant male ants out there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever heard of a sausage fly.
Yeah, I heard of. I remember it from like years and years ago when Discovery Channel used to teach about history and like
Fascinating.
science. Yeah,
Yeah,
super
yeah. I
fun.
mean, there certainly are. Typically when we see ants, it's typically the females that are larger, right? So all the workers in the colony are female. All the reproductives that they produce, the female reproductives look like large ants, but the males typically look like a little wasp. And so oftentimes those males get the short end of the stick.
Yeah. I mean, it's not him. He got the
Yeah,
stick.
not
He got
him.
the whole stick.
That's right. He said not today.
No. No, no.
Well,
I'm getting
if
all
if
the
that
nutrients.
if that ant wasn't enough for you, I got one more. This is the last one I got for this episode, Lucas.
Oh boy.
But personally, one of my favorite of the new characters. Um, I got another ant for you. You will probably be a little bit mad about this one too.
Uh-oh. Okay.
This is named Skarrsinger Carmelita.
Whoa.
Is that a
So
mantis?
that is an ant.
Okay, I'll be honest with you here. I'm going to be
Mm.
honest with you. This is going to sound weird. I'm actually less mad about this one than I am the buff ant.
Okay. Why?
Yeah, I'm less mad. So what we see actually in your typical worker ant is this really ornate, dainty body that constricts right before a really bulbous abdomen. And so this character's design is actually much more reminiscent of an ant. It's not great, but it is much like I don't know what's going on with those antenna and then I guess hair is what that's supposed to be. I'm not sure. But in terms of general body structure, we're closer to an ant than the beef guy, the beefcake above it.
This would also be the queen.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Uh
it could use some work, but we're moving in the right direction here.
Um, I personally am a big fan of the arena. If you see in that second photo, you can see
Yeah.
all the other little ants who came out for the show. But it's like a big arena with a big audience where this fight takes place. Carmelita in the lore of the game is the ruler of the Scars
Okay.
and was notable because she had a beautiful singing voice that could soothe great grandmother Silk and basically help diminish her influence over their tribe. And so
Wow.
these bugs sort of maintained their independence esque. As she got older, her powers began to fade, and Grandmother Silk was able to exert more of her influence. Um, as far as I know, ants are not known for their singing voices, though.
Yeah, not to my knowledge. I don't know of any ants that sing or make noise. I mean, there might be some research out there on ants making noise, but I have never heard it.
Or throw daggers.
If anything, their
Or throw
cousins are
daggers.
more likely to do it on accident. Like bees and wasps. Like, but that's not like on purpose. That's just the sound of like your wings beating faster.
That's
And they
right.
do
That's right.
there are flying scars too. So we do have some flying ants.
Yeah, it
I
looks
mean,
like that's one up there in the first picture I get, or the second picture you posted there. Is that right? On the right?
Yeah, that's one of them, yes.
Okay.
Um,
Fascinating.
let me see if I can find some other scars real quick.
Are
Uh,
there actual wasps in the game, I wonder?
I
I
don't
mean
think that
hornets,
there
I mean.
are. I don't think that there are. Here is a group photo of some scars.
Okay. Oh, fascinating. Oh man, I love the little one on. Yeah, I am more inclined to view these as ants or what we could say is Hymenopteran like characters than the first buff guy.
I agree. I like the little dude. I
Yeah, the
like his
little dude's
energy.
giving Ant. I like the antenna. He's giving Ant really hard.
I just
Yeah.
like his energy. He just looks like let me at him.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
Like he's giving like the one blade is called Razzle and the other blade is called Dazzle.
That's
Yeah.
And he's gonna give it to him.
that's right.
Um,
I love
I
that.
I lied. I'm gonna throw one more character at you.
Okay,
This is because I really like the design for this one. So
a
this is
bonus
Lace,
character.
and Lace does count as a weaver, so Arachnid.
Okay, lace arachnid. Whoa. Okay.
I'm angry.
I like that design a lot. I
Really?
can't
I mean,
say
where
that
are the
I see
legs?
arachnid. Yeah, aesthetically, I do like it. I do like the aesthetics of it. But yeah, I don't see arachnid at all.
It's as Arachnid as Hornet is, frankly,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
but
Yeah.
really cool design.
Oh, it is a really cool design. It is a really cool design. I like it.
Are there any white spiders out there? I'm wondering.
What's the? Is there like a
Oh,
lace? What is
absolutely.
lace fly? Is that a thing?
A lace
So there
fly?
are
Lace wings?
there are lace wings. There
Lace
are lace
wings.
wings. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But there are white spiders. So there's actually a whole group of spiders that mimic flowers, and they will hang out on the underside of flowers and stalk bees and things. And when they land to pollinate, they'll just grab them.
Okay. When I Google white spider, there are two pictures that come up. One is this guy, one of these little guys from
A
Eric.
little jumping spider. That's
Yeah.
cute.
And then the other one, they all look more like this thing, which is very much
Oh
like
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Those are. I think they're called crab spiders. Is what I think they're called. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So they will blend in with the color of the flower that they're on, and they will wait for insects to land to collect nectar or pollen, and then they'll just grab them. You can see those really. If you look at the front of the legs on that picture, you can see it looks like Velcro. It's very, very pokey. So they'll use those hairs on those tarsi to grab them.
yeah, it's called a goldenrod crab spider, and they are
Yep.
found in North Carolina. Would you look at
There
that?
you go. There
Hey.
you go.
Go pick some flowers.
That's right. That's right. They
Oh,
can't kill
this
you.
is great. This is because I know both you two are in North Carolina. Here's the map where they're found. Good luck, guys. Hang on, I just
Look at
found the map. Hopefully, I'm trying to get it to load because that's just really fun. Oh, here's the
Oh, it's
distribution
there.
map. You see it? Yeah, there it goes. There you
That's a
go.
good map.
they've actually got a
Hmm.
pretty good spread because those are very different areas.
They
Yeah,
are
like
very different.
good for them.
Because we got the mountains. We're definitely in the Piedmont. Um, and then we're on the beachy side of stuff. We're a
Yeah,
little bit
all the
we're a little
yeah.
bit everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, hey, to be fair though, going back full circle, now we'll never know if they're about to go extinct.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But hey, on the positive, Bug Chris, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you being
Oh
here for
yeah.
this episode.
This has been a phenomenal time.
There is a crazy number of critters in this game that we could literally go for hours, and I'm sure there's someone who has, but we're gonna cut it here because these are some really fun ones.
It is a good
I
representation of the game, and if you would like more, you should play it. And if you want to know what this thing is, go play the game.
yeah, just there.
This
I
is the
mean,
Bell Beast.
oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Okay,
got cute little
there's the
bell.
hook.
Look at the little bells. That's cute. Oh, he's kind of cute. In a
He
sad,
is
I
kind of cute.
collect junk to mask my pain way, but yeah, kind of cute. All right, guys. I want to thank you all listening so much. I know it took a while for us to get an episode out in January, but we had family, we had lives, and we're back. We're refreshed. It's the 30th year of Pokemon. So rest assured there will be more Pokemon stuff, but we are going to keep doing stuff like this too because we get to cool people like Bug Chris here. Again, thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night. We hope to see you guys in the next episode. Bye, everybody.